Welcome to the Cross Canada Spotlight. I'm Mike Arsenault. Every week we take a look at a handful of the most interesting and entertaining stories produced across the global news network. Our first story takes us to Alberta to meet a couple celebrating their 75th wedding anniversary with a relationship that seems like it's out of a Nicholas Sparks novel.
Meet Steele and Lori Brewerton.
She's got the most wonderful smile.
I
Don't do that, Lori.
In May, they celebrated a milestone anniversary.
We've been married for how many years? 75? 75? Oh my. That's a lot of years.
In true Southern Alberta fashion, the couple first saw each other while swimming at the Old Man River.
I was surprised I agreed to go on a blind date, but look how it turned out. You thought I was kind of a boring first date, too?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I thought she was beautiful. That's why I kept asking her for dates.
Steele was a doctor who specialized in OBGYN. He practiced in Southern Alberta from 1948 to 1979, and given the chance, he'll proudly tell you all his stories.
I had quite a few adventures. My other adventure, I carried her out to the car over the deep snow up to my knees. Mother was so tickled, she named him Steele after me. Carried my bag and didn't set it down, and I navigated my way through all the poop.
Steele was given an Alumni Honor Award from the University of Alberta for the work he did in Southern Alberta. But his work took the Brewertons all over the world. But for them, there really was no place like home, and they eventually settled in McGrath.
It was just home. It's where we raised our children, basically, and it just felt like home.
We asked the couple, what is their secret to success?
Tolerance, forgiveness, loving each other in spite of our faults. I don't know any secrets. Everybody knows it that's been married that long. There's no secrets.
Jessica Robb, Global News.
Well, it's pretty clear that Lori and Steele really enjoy each other's company, and I guess they better, being married for so long. Watching the two of them together, I'd add a sense of humor and the ability to laugh to their list of secrets to a long marriage. Now here's another sweet story from Saskatchewan about giving space to baby animals so they can thrive in the warmer weather.
It's a sure sign of spring. Young animals, fuzzy or freshly hatched, become more visible in their natural habitats. And despite any good intentions, wildlife experts are reminding people that physical distancing isn't only for humans.
We want to make sure that we give wildlife its space. And especially here in the springtime of the year, we know that more people are getting out and about. And this is the time of year when the wildlife is having its offspring.
Ecologist Sarah Romold is reminding people not to assume that just because an animal is isolated, that it is orphaned.
For example, rabbits, they will actually leave their young, they'll separate them and they'll leave them in different spots intentionally. So we do have people that come across young juvenile rabbits and they think that they're left all by themselves, and in most cases they're actually left there by design.
Romold adds sometimes mothers leave their babies as they go look for food. She also wants people, especially children, to refrain from chasing animals.
Imagine a dinosaur. Because while they have not seen a dinosaur, most kids have imagined or seen pictures and they know how big they are. Imagine how scary it might be for you if a dinosaur were chasing you.
And there are some sure signs of a distressed animal.
It can be blood anywhere around the animal. It could be, in case of little ones, dead siblings around them. Look for maggots or flies around them.
At the end of the day, just be considerate of the furry little creatures we share space with.
So we do strive to have a balance between a recreational park as well as it being a natural environment.
Taz Dollywall, Global News.
You know, I really like that dinosaur analogy. It works on me. I can imagine my reaction to a dinosaur chasing me. There'd probably be a lot of high-pitched screaming. So I definitely wouldn't want to put any baby animals in a similar position. Sticking with the animal theme, in Alberta, a pet cat is being used to brighten the days of senior care home residents.
Where did you go, Lily?
Ernie Bowden's stopping by to see her new friend, Lily.
Oh, come on and pay some attention to me.
Here just a couple of weeks, already old pals.
And she loves to be petted.
making herself right at home in the new custom-made cat room at this supportive living seniors building.
But be able to come down here every day and play with her is great.
A pandemic pet for so many to share here.
Residents had been asking for a cat specifically, and pet companionship is so great for mental health. Yeah. And especially with COVID and all the restrictions, it felt like the perfect time to bring a cat here.
You're such a sweetheart.
And especially with physical touch being absent for a lot of the older adults here, the benefits of just having that touch has been immense.
That's a girl.
A big boost after all those months of restrictions.
It was hard. I like seeing my daughter, and it was hard not to be able to see her.
Lily's here as part of a partnership with the Calgary Humane Society, soon to make way for more guests in the cat room.
We have set up a foster program. So they come to live with us for a little bit until they get adopted.
You're purring away.
Lily is so affectionate and lovable. It has just uplifted spirits through this very, very hard year.
She gives me joy. She gives me calmness. She relaxes me. Just to have her here is a blessing.
Gil Tucker, Global News.
Well, there's just more evidence for the benefit of pets. I'll be honest, I'm not really a cat person. I've always had pet dogs, and my dog Cookie brings me so much joy and happiness. I hope more care homes start similar programs because it will definitely help residents mentally and physically. Now, social distancing is tough on everyone, but especially for kids and teenagers unable to interact with their friends in person, and recreation activities have been limited for more than a year. Well, one phys ed teacher is trying to change that with fishing class.
These grade 5 students in Miramichi, New Brunswick are getting schooled in the sport of fishing.
It's really fun to catch a fish and then look at it. Last time we caught a salmon.
Their school, Nelson Rural, is located on the banks of the mighty Miramichi River, known to anglers around the globe. So it just seemed fitting to teach the kids how to fish, especially this year, given COVID-19 restrictions in the classroom.
My whole phys ed program this year has been based upon being outside.
Right or left-handed?
13-year-old Jaden Harris grew up rod in hand. He tends to the gear and offers students some pointers.
You have to pinch the barbs on all the lures and reline the rods.
The program was launched 3 years ago, but the kids didn't make it to the riverbank last season with schools closed due to COVID-19. The program was cast off again this spring and is proving to help some kids tackle their pandemic fears.
I think it's relieving a lot of stress for them as well. Being outside in general and getting away from things.
11-year-old Brooke Lynch says being outside is indeed a welcomed distraction.
Because we have to wear our masks in the halls and we can just take them off out here.
And many are feeling a sense of accomplishment when they're able to get a bite.
Oh, good try. I was just reeling them in one after one, 16 of them.
And he's not telling fish tales. Baldwin has the pictures to prove it.
To see the look on their face when they're reeling in a fish, I don't know who gets more excited, them or me.
At a time when it may be hard to find a lot to get excited about, looks like they're hooked. Shelley Steves, Global News, Miramichi.
I went fishing a few times when I was a kid, and it was never really my thing. I remember being grossed out having to put a worm on the hook, and that pretty much ended my fishing career. To another teacher for our final story of the week, this Quebec educator is committed to teaching her students about energy conservation.
Yep, that's what I was talking about.
These grade 3 students at Kingsdale Academy in Montreal's West Island are learning about being environmentally responsible, thanks to teacher Leah Cheralo.
I think this is yours too, Ali.
She's been committed to teaching her students about energy consumption and environmental awareness for years.
For 4 years. I've been at this school for 4 years.
This year, she decided to kick it up a notch.
We took part in the Classroom Energy Diet Challenge.
It's an annual competition for kindergarten to grade 12 students across Canada. Children complete various challenges over several weeks to help improve their energy awareness. Cheralo's efforts paid off.
I'm proud of her.
The teacher took home one of the top prizes, Energy Educator of the Year in the elementary school category.
Because she's worked really hard on teaching us, and she deserves an award.
The students too got their own pat on the back.
So what are some things we can do to save energy?
One of the challenges they had to complete was titled Tips and Tricks.
We did a video on how to use less energy.
They came in 4th out of more than 500 teams. The reward, $150.
We're gonna have a pizza party.
Some of the things they did for the contest have become common practice. For example,
every Friday, now we do waste-free lunches.
And something else they had to fight for, Because of COVID, the school temporarily suspended its composting program. So when the grade 3s asked to start composting, they were told no.
And her class was quite upset at me, so they decided all on their own to make a petition.
The principal was so moved, she had to say yes. Now the students have a small compost bin in the classroom. Not is encouraged.
Yeah, these kids give us hope for the future.
Chiarello already has her sights set on next year.
Well, I would really like to take a lot of our projects and bring them school-wide.
She hopes COVID doesn't get in the way. Phil Carpenter, Global News, Pierrefonds.
As a new dad, I am now an expert at limiting energy consumption in my house. I spend most of my days turning lights off, turning the thermostat down, and muttering, "What, do you think I'm made of money?" to myself. Well, that's it for the Cross Canada Spotlight this week. Be sure to watch Global News Weekend Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. on the Global TV app. For now, stay tuned for more news and weather.